Welcome to the Connecting Hands How to Build Your CV workshop. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Zayaan. My name is Haroon. Today, my colleague and I will be showing you how to construct the perfect CV.
An overview of what we will be covering today. Who are connecting hands? What is a CV? Different types of CVs. Key principles when writing a CV. Step-by-step building your CV and the final CV. Who are Connecting Hands? Connecting Hands is a charitable organization founded in 2018.
We encourage professionals to support good causes, and we partner with individuals, charitable and educational causes to strategically support their existing needs.
Have a quick think. What do you think a CV is? The word CV stands for the Latin word curriculum vitae, which loosely translates to the course of my life. A CV includes various details such as your achievements, accomplishments, where you have studied, what skills you have, and a glimpse of your character. There are different types of CVs relevant to the type of jobs you're applying to. The format is generally the same. It is good to know what specialist sector you're intending your CV for. First of all, we have a creative CV. This is showing your skills in marketing, designing, and other creative fields. We have a technical CV. This is relevant to IT-based roles.
Principles of writing a CV. Sell yourself. Having a strong CV makes you stand out from hundreds of other people who have applied for the job. Include everything unique about you and construct it in a logical way. Don't lie. Employers often run background checks, so please don't try to lie, as this could not just ruin your chance of getting the job you applied to, but also affect job applications in future. Make sure your social media is presentable as well. Be clear and concise. A CV is typically 2 pages and must be a maximum of 3 pages long, and it shouldn't bore the reader. Don't leave unexplained gaps. If you mentioned, for example, you took a gap year, explain why and what you achieved during this time. Personal statement first. Talk about your useful qualities and other skills you have which will not fit into other parts of the CV. Check, check, check. Always check numerous times for spelling and grammatical mistakes. Your CV is one of the most important components in getting a job offer. It is necessary for it to be well constructed and logical. This is why you need to plan it. So throughout the process, we'll be constructing a CV together using a fictional character called Adam. He's a 20-year-old taking a gap year and would like to find a part-time job. Write down the essential pieces of information, such as qualifications. Secondly, you should note down all other possible points, even if not relevant. If you remember something else, write it down.
A CV can have many different layouts. The layout is all up to you. Here are a few examples of different layouts. Note that they can all have the same content, and the only thing that really differs is the way each section is arranged and colored. Here, as we can see, a professional summary is included right at the top as opposed to the bottom. This is just done to show you that you can lay out your CV however you want, but whilst doing this, still ensure that you have a chronological order. Here again, we can see a different layout. Just mainly small changes like the position of the picture and contact details on a different side of the page. So when choosing the layout of your CV, choose a template and layout that you like. Remember, the simpler and more easier it is to read, the better. Ensure that you are very clear and concise.
Besides your name, it is vital to also include further contact details such as email address, phone number, your LinkedIn account, and if you wish, your address. This makes it easier for the employer to contact you. If we take a look at the bottom, we have arranged the contact details all in one corner. Also, be mindful about if you have any social media presence. If you have a good social media presence, you could also consider writing that in. It helps you to put your personality in display, show creativity, and emphasize online networking skills. We're going to dedicate one section to specific skills you have. This is done to highlight to the employer what you could bring with just a few words. We can see on the left side here that one way of outlining the skills you have are in a bullet point form. This makes it easy to read, neat and tidy. On the right, another way to showcase your skills are through a few lines as shown. This allows space for examples in this format. Going back to the plan we made, we are now going to list all the relevant and good awards and achievements we have accomplished. Now remember, even if you don't hold any major awards, mention any smaller ones. More often than not, these can help you make your CV stand out. You don't have to have a Nobel Prize to mention. We could mention, for example, that you won a class science project, or even participation and good effort could be a sign of achievement. So now we're getting to the bulk of writing the CV. We're going to list out any past experience and past jobs you have had. Remember to refer back to that very important plan you made. We're going to start with a job role in bold at the top, and in similar or fainter writing, we're going to indicate what time period this job was completed at. Underneath that, we're going to indicate where we did that job. For example, at Next in Croydon. Then simply below that, we'll professionally list out all the tasks and roles we completed in more detail. This is vital as this tells you and shows a prospective employer the broad range of skills you are able to complete in more detail. So for example, we mentioned here that this track delivery of sales and service KPIs to effectively meet revenue goals and improve customer engagement, manage stock room responsibly, including packaging and sorting stock, keeping clear records and handling heavy items with care. Really going into detail to make the point clear. As you can see, we have done it in bullet points. If you prefer, you could write it as a paragraph. Personally, with this broad range of experience listed, I believe it looks nicer, neater, and easier to read in bullet points. You might, if you don't have much experience, note down your experience as a paragraph so visually it could look more lengthy. As always, it is up to you. Here are some more of Adam's experience for you to see. Note, you can even include voluntary and charity work. So specifically, it says, displayed a keen eye for detail in the preparation of food and keeping a well-organized kitchen, and produced quality food items using basic cooking techniques, including porridge, breakfast items, soup, sandwiches, and salads. There are more points to be listed, and all of them are quite detailed, as seen previously, and it's important to really convey you and your character and history to potential employers. Specifically, this is of an assistant role in Greggs in London, and between June 2007 and December 2009. Again, that's more information and it's multifaceted to really sell yourself and explain who you are and what you've done in the past so that you can show what you will do in the future if you work for the employer. Here are a few more examples which you can pause and read out.
What we will do is list out all the educational institutes we have studied at and the UK examination grades we have received. A reference is written by a previous employer, outlining and confirming the general duties of the employer and his strengths. You can politely request this from previous employers. This is something you do not write by yourself.
A professional summary is just essentially a summary to end off your CV. Although employers look at the whole CV, the beginning and end are especially important as this leaves the employer with an impression of what you are like. Keep the summary short, dense, and persuasive. So it is up to you to write or think of a professional summary for Adam after everything you have learnt today. This is Adam's final CV we have just written together. Take a few minutes to read through it. As you said, Zayaan, I think it's quite important that the CV really speaks for who you are as a person. That's why, if it is appropriate, you should remove sections which you think should be removed, and you should add sections which you think would benefit your CV. And this is so that it's more unique and you really do express yourself and represent yourself well. If somebody does ask you about your negatives, you can say something interesting like, I think I work too hard, or I'm a workaholic. Answering questions in this way may even put forward good communication skills on your part. With all this though, there does need to be a standard of detail which needs to be maintained, so do not remove too many sections. And also, although you are representing yourself the best you can, you don't need to focus too much on the negatives.
So by now, you can all write amazing CVs following the guidelines given. That's it from me and thanks for attending. Have a nice day.
Be sure to contact us on the Connecting Hands website, link given below. Feel free to contact us if you have feedback, want more information, or want to even volunteer. Thank you and see you later.